Коллеги, уважаемые.
Dear colleagues, good afternoon. Unfortunately, we have to make a technical break number 1 until Professor Iuliia is again with us. As far as I know, she's stuck in a traffic jam. As soon as she's here, we'll continue our session. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Good afternoon, dear guests. It is the 3rd of December. It is 3 minutes past 11 Moscow time. This is the end of technical break number 1. We are beginning the session for the Dissertation Council for the defense of the thesis by Iuliia. The thesis is submitted in conformity with the requirements for the academic degree of the candidate of political sciences. The topic of the dissertation is the UN policy on interaction with global business structures exemplified by implementation of the goals of the Global Compact on corporate social responsibility. Under the order issued by the Academic Secretary of St. Petersburg State University, Alexander Gnyotov, I, Professor Nikolai Dobronravin, Doctor of Philological Sciences, Professor of the Department of the World Politics of St. Petersburg State University, have been appointed the chairperson of this Dissertation Council. The other members of the Dissertation Council have been appointed by the same order. They are Professor Natalia Iuliia, Doctor of Political Sciences, Associate Professor of the Department of European Studies of St. Petersburg State University. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Some members of the Dissertation Council are participating in this session remotely. They are Professor Irina Zeleneva, Doctor of Historical Sciences, Professor of the Department of the World Politics of St. Petersburg State University. Professor Zeleneva, can you hear us and see us? Yes, I can hear you and I can see you. Professor Zina Bakhturidze, Doctor of Political Sciences, Professor of the High School of International Relations of St. Petersburg Polytechnical University. Professor Bakhturidze, can you hear us and see us? Yes, I can hear you and see you. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. So the answer is positive. Professor Rosa Nurtazina, Doctor of Political Sciences, Professor of Lev Gumilyov Eurasian National University, Kazakhstan. Professor Nurtazina, can you hear us and see us? Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I can hear you and see you. Good luck. So the answer is positive. The research advisor, Professor of the Department of the World Politics of St. Petersburg State University, Professor Natalia Vasilyeva, is also attending the session remotely. Professor Vasilyeva, can you hear us and see us? Yes, I can hear you and see you, and I wish you success. I would like to ask the members of the Dissertation Council who are attending the session remotely to switch off their microphones. Please make sure that your microphone is switched on when you are given the floor. Thank you. This session of the Dissertation Council is being recorded and broadcast on the official website of St. Petersburg State NTE, and it is being interpreted into English. You can ask your questions and make comments about the dissertation using the email address that you can find on the official website of St. Petersburg State University. The technical personnel will refer the questions to me, and I will read them out during the discussion. This will allow you to participate in the academic discussion. I will read out the questions during the discussion. The questions are supposed to be relevant to the contents of the dissertation. The authors of the questions are to write down their name, position, and workplace. The questions that are not relevant to the contents of the thesis, to the academic discussion, or anonymous questions will not be read out. Under the order on the procedure of granting academic degrees at St. Petersburg State University, issued by St. Petersburg State University, the session of the Dissertation Council is duly constituted, provided at least 2/3 of the members of the Dissertation Council are present. The total number is not to be fewer than 4 people. This Dissertation Council consists of 5 people, 5 of which are present, including 3 people who are attending the session remotely via Zoom. Therefore, we have a quorum. I would like to ask the representative of the Department for Dissertation Council Management to make an attendance list. The agenda is as follows. The time limit is about 2 hours. Number 1, the chairman's presentation about the documents submitted by the academic degree seeker and their conformity with the requirements. The chairman's reply to the questions, if any. The academic degree seeker's presentation providing an overview and findings of the research, about 15 minutes. Questions to the academic degree seeker regarding the presentation, no more than 2 minutes for each question. Number 4, replies to the questions. Next, reports on the thesis. The council members will be taking the floor in turns, about 10 minutes per person. Number 6, the chairman's report on the thesis, about 10 minutes. 7, the academic degree seeker's comments about the reports on the thesis, no more than 20 minutes. Number 8, open discussion. The floor will be given to the members of the audience. They can give a brief account of their ideas or ask questions about the research, no more than 5 minutes per person. It is necessary to fill in the registration form and give their full name before the talk. Number 9. The chairperson will read out the questions received via email. I will be reading out the questions that have been received via the email, which is published on the official website of St. Petersburg State University. Please note that questions which take more than 2 minutes to read will not be read out. Next, the academic degree seeker's answers to the question. Then, presentation of the dissertation supervisor. 11. Deliberations of the members of the Dissertation Council before the open balloting on conferring or non-conferring the academic degree. Next, open balloting, vote counting and recording the results in the protocol. Making a decision on whether to confer or not the academic degree. And the last item on our agenda, the academic degree seeker's closing speech. Dear colleagues, do you have any questions or objections about the agenda? I don't have any questions or objections. No questions, no objections. Thank you very much. Before proceeding with the agenda, I would like to ask the members of the Dissertation Council who are participating in the session remotely not to switch off their mobile phones so that we can contact you in case of a technical failure. So I will proceed with the agenda. The thesis by Iuliia is submitted in conformity with the requirements for the academic degree of the candidate of political sciences. The scientific specialty is 554, International Relations. The topic of the dissertation is the UN policy on interaction with global business structures exemplified by implementation of the goals of the Global Compact on corporate social responsibility. The thesis was approved for the defense by the order of the Academic Secretary of St. Petersburg State University. The thesis was completed in St. Petersburg State University. She was a postgraduate student. The research advisor is Doctor of Philosophical Sciences, Professor of the Department of the World Politics of St. Petersburg State University, Professor Natalia Vasilyeva. The academic degree seeker has published 3 papers in the peer-reviewed journals recommended by the Ministry of Education and Science. She has not published any papers indexed in the Web of Science or Scopus. The academic degree seeker has submitted a full set of documents to the Academic Secretary of St. Petersburg State University. The documents are in compliance with the requirements and they are stored in the dossier The representative of the Department for Dissertation Council Management has the copies of the documents. Before giving the floor to the academic degree seeker, I would like to ask the members of the Dissertation Council if they have any questions to the academic degree seeker. And if it is necessary to read out the list of documents submitted by the academic degree seeker. No, it is not necessary. No. No questions. Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to the academic degree seeker. You have 15 minutes. Iuliia is given the floor. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, dear members of the Dissertation Council. I would like to give a brief account of my dissertation. Different global issues have been traditionally regarded as the responsibility of the country. However, we have seen an increased role of transnational cooperation recently. Global inequalities are growing, therefore there's a demand for new mechanisms of sustainable development. And one of such mechanisms is the UN Global Compact. Nowadays, the UN Global Compact is regarded as one of the tools which allow to achieve sustainable development goals. The goal of the dissertation is to analyze the UN politics in the area of the corporate social responsibility driven by the UN Global Compact. I have set up several tasks, the most important of them being to analyze the practices and results of the implementation of the UN Global Compact. The UN Global Compact is hardly ever studied in the auspices or in the perspective of the corporate social responsibility. The theoretical framework of the dissertation include works in the area of the theory of global governance. I also draw upon the works by Thomas Weiss and Michael Zurn. I analyzed internal documents and also conducted the content analysis. The dissertation consists of 3 sections. The first section analyzes the theory of global governance, and there the theory is adjusted to the corporate social responsibility. The second session deals with the detailed analysis of the UN Global Compact, and the third session is devoted to the comprehensive analysis of the UN Global Compact implementation. Now I would like to talk in more detail about the contents of the dissertation. The first statement deals with the global governance as a new model for providing solutions to global challenges. Global governance is driven by several principles, the major of them being the replacement of the top-down system with the horizontal mechanism, which involves different actors. The concept of global governance is different from traditional international relations. In my dissertation, I propose my own analytical model of global governance, which can be used in different areas. Global governance is possible when there is a broad public consent and when public realizes that there is a problem which needs solutions. However, unlike traditional models of governance, There is no top-down approach when it comes to global governance. The model of global governance is based on the involvement of different actors and different stakeholders. This approach requires the solution of different challenges, which include raising awareness, overall consent among the stakeholders, providing safeguards, and so on. However, global governance cannot be applied to all the spheres of life. For example, arms control cannot be implemented through global governance. Well, in general, corporate social responsibility is a campaign designed to take into account the interests of all the stakeholders. Modern transnational corporations make a big impact on the environment. Therefore, the corporate social responsibility at the level of global governance is really relevant. The next statement of the dissertation deals with the UN Global Compact as an initiative. In order to provide rationale for this statement, we should use the analytical model which is proposed in the second part. Most countries share the main principles of the UN Global Compact. The United Nations is a major international organization which provides basic infrastructure for global governance. Finally, the UN Global Compact is regarded through the perspective of the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm sorry. The next element of global governance is the involvement of different actors, which should be in consent of all the 10 principles of the Global Compact. The Global Compact unites actors at different levels. The stakeholders represent different regions and different countries. When it comes to business, American, Brazilian, European businesses are mostly involved in the implementation of the UN Global Compact. Next, the UN Global Compact can be regarded as global governance, and it includes the following elements: 10 principles, information and analytical support, training, different types of communication, active involvement in corporate social responsibility, promotion of the UN Global Compact and corporate social responsibility, and minimal monitoring. Next, Global Compact should also provide the solutions for 5 types of problems. The first of them is knowledge, which is necessary in order to take empowered decisions about sustainable development. Here, the expert network of the Global Compact is really relevant, and it is instrumental for this aspect of the UN Global Compact. The second challenge includes the norms, or rather the general understanding, the overall understanding of the basic regulations and norms. All the stakeholders follow the 10 principles voluntarily. However, there are some challenges here. The specific implementation of these principles can vary from company to company and from country to country. And Secondly, the 10 principles only partially cover the responsibility, or rather the corporate social responsibility. Number 3, the documents which are developed under the UN Global Compact are rather recommendations and guidelines. Another important limitation here is that major transnational companies and different global non-governmental organizations have control over the internal documents. Number 4 is the need for specialized institutional mechanisms which are necessary for stable and sustainable implementation of the governance functions. The UN Global Compact has different tools and procedures and a governance system which has been recently reformed. The institutional system of the UN Global Compact is not a top-down system. It includes different autonomous elements. This is especially relevant for local networks of the UN Global Compact. The main problem of the institutions is that they are underrepresented, and sometimes we do not see inclusiveness here. The 5th problem is about compliance, namely the compliance to the principles of corporate social responsibility and UN Global Compact. The main challenge here is that compliance is voluntary. However, the absence of legal mechanisms of control makes the situation more complicated. So we see that the UN Global Compact has some limitations and problems. However, it can be regarded as global governance because it has all the specific features of global governance in the area of corporate social responsibility. The 3rd key statement of the dissertation is that the UN Global Compact has demonstrated its potential. However, this potential is limited by a number of challenges. In the dissertation, I analyzed several sources. First of all, I identified the dynamics of quantitative indicators of the UN Global Compact. We see an increased growth when it comes to the stakeholders and participants of the UN Global Compact. And most participants focus on the management of their own reputation. And we also see the decreased importance of strategic and ethics aspects when it comes to the membership of the UN Global Compact. Next, I also analyzed reports provided by different transnational corporations. UN Global Compact is hardly ever mentioned in the internal documents. Only the German concern Daimler pays an important attention to the UN Global Compact in their documents. More importance is given by companies to industry standards or to GRI social accounting. In other words, the UN Global Compact is not regarded as a reputational mechanism. I also assessed the role of the Global Compact reflected in the mass media. To this end, I analyzed articles published in 3 major Russian newspapers, I was able to identify 33 articles which mention the Global Compact, and in most cases these mentions are indirect. Although the overall assessment is more positive rather than negative, it is clear that the UN Global Compact does not play an important role in the Russian media agenda. Finally, we can assess the efficiency of the Global Compact if we analyze the independent scientific research. This analysis shows that the results and the efficiency of the UN Global Compact is sort of limited. Finally, we can say that the UN Global Compact has a potential to act as a mechanism for global governance. Moreover, we see here different forms of participation and possibilities for cooperation. Training mechanisms and mechanisms for sharing experience is also important here. However, there are some limitations here which prevent the use of corporate social responsibility here. Here I would like to say that some instruments are more important, for example such instruments as ISO 26000 standard, industry standards, and so on. Moreover, the 10 principles of the UN Global Compact cover only part of the important strategic aspects of corporate social responsibility. Moreover, we do not see the inclusive character of the UN Global Compact. Now I can provide several key guidelines for the further development of UN Global Compact as a mechanism for global governance in the area of corporate social responsibility. First of all, it is necessary to expand the principles of the UN Global Compact. For example, we see increased importance of cooperation with customers and local communities. Moreover, we could provide interfaces that could be used as a platform which coordinates the actions of different companies in the area of corporate social responsibility. Next, further development of the UN Global Compact requires more inclusiveness. Finally, it is important to expand the functional possibilities of the UN Global Compact. It should include mediation mechanisms and conflict resolution mechanisms. However, despite these limitations, I believe it is possible to say that the UN Global Compact is an important mechanism of global governance in the area of business and public cooperation. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to ask the members of the Dissertation Council if they have any questions. Do you have any questions about the dissertation or about the presentation? I have a question. In your presentation and in your dissertation, you say that the UN Global Compact does not provide any reputational incentives to companies. It doesn't change their overall image. So, what is the incentive for such companies? Thank you very much for your question. Probably I didn't word my answer correctly. Yes, it is important for companies to improve their reputation. some companies participate in the UN Global Compact only on paper. They do it only to improve their reputation. And you are right, the UN Global Compact is one of the main aspects, is one of the main incentives for the companies to participate in the UN Global Compact. Professor Iuliia, are you satisfied with the answer? Yes, I am. Are there any other questions to the academic degree seeker? I would like to ask a question. I agree with my colleague, I agree with Professor Iuliia. I would like to ask a similar question. The third section of your dissertation deals with the role of the UN Global Compact in major global companies. Why does it play a limited role in the governance of these companies? Is there a possibility? Is there that the role will change? Thank you very much for your question. I agree with the scholars who write that the task or the goal of any business is to make profit, and the environmental agenda is not their priority, as it does not increase their profits. And this is the connection between the UN Global Compact and how to make big and small businesses get involved in public affairs, how to make them contribute to the environmental agenda. I will provide more detailed information when I'm answering the questions which were asked in the reports. I will be talking about such companies as the Coca-Cola company and about some countries. I will be talking about different initiatives undertaken by different companies to increase their contribution to the environmental agenda. Many countries, namely the European countries, are trying to pursue green policies. They try to minimize the use of fossil fuels and the use of non-green energy. They give different concessions and different incentives to those who use electric automobiles. They give to them such incentives as free parking areas or low interest loans. I hope I have answered your question. Thank you very much. Professor Zeleneva, are you satisfied with the answer? Yes, I'm satisfied with the answer. Professor Nurtazina, I see you have a question. I have the following question. I would like to ask you about the legitimacy of the UN Global Compact. Does it play an important role? Thank you very much for your question. When it comes to legitimacy, I believe we can regard it as an initiative, and this is a voluntary initiative. Companies join the UN Global Compact on a voluntary basis. They provide reports annually and quarterly. So this is a voluntary initiative. Therefore, I believe it is quite difficult to talk about legitimacy because it is based on a voluntary participation. The UN Global Compact is relevant for businesses. It is not relevant for countries or for political parties. It is quite a narrow initiative which focuses mostly on businesses, and business makes a voluntary decision on whether to participate or not to participate in the UN Global Compact. And I believe this is an important issue if the UN were to expand the UN Global Compact. Professor Nurtazina, are you satisfied with the academic degree seeker's answer? Yes, I'm satisfied. Thank you very much. Professor Bakhturidze, do you have a question? I will ask the questions when I'm reading out my report on the thesis. Thank you very much. I don't have any questions. Now I will ask the members of the Dissertation Council to read out their reports. Please provide your assessment of the dissertation. I would like to remind you that the academic degree seeker can answer the questions after each report or after all the reports have been read out. Well, I suppose it is better to answer after each report. Colleagues, do you agree with me? I think we should ask the academic degree seeker which way is more comfortable for her. Professor Bakhturidze, do you mind if the academic degree seeker answers after every report? No, I don't mind. We have not received any external reports. All the reports are published on the official website of St. Petersburg State University, so that everybody who wants can read them. I suppose the members of the Dissertation Council can focus only on the most relevant parts or on the questions and critical remarks. Are there any objections? There are no objections. Thank you. So, the next item on our agenda is reports on the thesis. First, I will give the floor to Professor Natalia Yeremina, then Professor Irina Zelina, Professor Zina Bakhturidze, Professor Rosa Nurtazina, and I will be the last one to read out my report. Are there any objections? Can you read out my report, as it is very difficult for me to talk? Yes, I understand. I would like to give the floor to Natalia Yeremina, or rather focus on the most relevant part. Thank you very much. I suppose the topic of the dissertation is very relevant. It has a theoretical and practical importance. UN Global Compact and the increased role of transnational corporations are an important issue to study. I would like to focus on the questions. I didn't quite understand the time period which you study. And I would like to ask you about the perception of the UN Global Compact by the Russian society and by the perception in other countries. Another question: what is the role of UN Global Compact when it comes to cooperation between different actors? How is the principle of sustainable development connected with the ethical principles? As the ethical agenda is as important as the environmental agenda. I think it is also important to talk about the chaos of international relations and the role of UN Global Compact. However, these questions do not change the overall positive assessment. The dissertation by Iuliia Bulgakova complies with the major requirements set forth in order number 6821/1 as of the 1st of September 2016, and the academic degree seeker can be awarded the academic degree of the candidate of political sciences. Thank you. So please answer the questions. Thank you very much for your report. In my dissertation, I cover the period of 20 years, namely the implementation period of the Global Compact. Now about the perception of the Global Compact. I did not conduct the analysis of the perception in other countries, and I suppose this is the topic for my further research. However, I suppose that the UN Global Compact is much better covered in the media and much better evaluated, much better valued in European countries. The concept of global governance emerges as a response to the challenges of international relations. However, we should realize that different actors should participate in solving international challenges. On the one hand, we should involve countries, but this is not enough. And UN Global Compact shows us that United Nations is building new approaches to solve international problems. The connection between the sustainable development and ethical principles. The fact that the UN Global Compact is not a legally binding contract, and that it includes ethical imperatives and sustainable agenda, shows that this is an attempt to make a connection between sustainable development and ethical principles. However, we see that ethical principles shouldn't limit the interests of business. Corporate social responsibility works when it promotes business interests. Ethical principles is not enough to promote the UN Global Compact. Thank you very much. Professor Iuliia, are you satisfied with the answer? I give the floor to Professor Irina Zeleneva. Thank you very much. I suppose that the topic of the dissertation is relevant. UN Global Compact is a major initiative which provoked a wide response and debates. It has theoretical and practical significance. The dissertation makes a contribution to science. The dissertation characterizes the UN Global Compact from different perspectives. The theoretical part of the dissertation provides concepts and models which allow further study of the UN Global Compact. However, some issues have not been touched upon in the dissertation. On the 76th UN General Assembly, the Russian company Rosneft was included in the UN Global Compact. Later on, Rosatom company also joined the UN Global Compact. So what opportunities does this participation provide to the Russian companies? The next question is about the connection between the environmental agenda and corporate social responsibility. Do you know any specific initiatives? What role can be played by social networks? My questions and critical remarks do not change the overall positive assessment of the dissertation, and the dissertation by Iuliia Bulgakova complies with the major requirements set forth in the order number 6821/1 as of the 1st of September 2016, and Iuliia Bulgakova can be awarded the academic degree of the candidate of political sciences. Scientific specialty is 551 International Relations. Thank you very much. So please answer the questions. Thank you very much for your interesting questions. The first question was about the Russian companies. The UN Global Compact is a mechanism for major companies. However, Russian oil companies are also participating in the initiative. The participation of Rosneft shows the role of corporate social responsibility. I believe that it is important for companies to demonstrate their possibility to comply with increased international expectations, especially against the background of sanctions. Moreover, the environmental agenda is becoming more and more important. The last summit on climate saw the discussion of this issue, and the Russian delegation was one of the biggest. Major markets are changing their energy sector. Therefore, we see the importance of corporate social responsibility and environmental agenda. So the environmental aspect and the ethical aspect are important for Russian companies as well, as it gives them more credibility. I wouldn't say that the UN Global Compact is important only for oil companies or Russian oil companies. The UN Global Compact is one of the mechanisms to implement corporate social responsibility. Now, the connection between the environmental agenda and corporate social responsibility. They are connected, since environmental protection is one of the major issues now. It is one of the important aspects of modern business, and this aspect is also audited. You also asked me about specific initiatives. There are many initiatives. One of them is Divide With Us, which is part of the Coca-Cola Company initiative. Its aim is to decrease the impact of packaging, and Ferrero factory in the city of Vladimir has switched to environmental and green policies as well. It will allow the company to decrease carbon footprint. And there's another initiative, the Eco Initiative, which is implemented in New York. It forbids the use of some types of plastic in packaging. Now, I would like to answer your question about the administrative education. The UN Global Compact is an important document. However, we need to raise public awareness about it, and the social networks will be really helpful here. There are also some specific initiatives, some educational initiatives here. However, in many cases, cooperation between administrative education and other aspects is not really deep. Thank you. Professor Zeleneva, are you satisfied with the answer? I would like to ask Professor Bakhturidze. Thank you very much. I would like to say that the topic of the dissertation is relevant. It was very interesting to read this dissertation. The dissertation uses lots of data, and it draws upon very serious research papers. This allowed the academic degree seeker to provide credible research. The academic degree seeker was able to achieve the goal of the dissertation. And I agree with my colleagues. This dissertation written by Iuliia Bulgakova is a complete research which complies with the major requirements set forth in order number 6821/1 as of the 1st of September. And Iuliia Bulgakova can be awarded the academic degree of the candidate of political sciences. However, I have some recommendations and some questions. Let me read out the questions that I have. I would like to talk in more detail about the efficiency and significance of the UN Global Compact as a mechanism for providing solution to global challenges. The second question is as follows. On page 152, you write down that UN Global Compact can be regarded as a framework structure only if it reflects all the key elements of corporate social responsibility, which has strategic importance for balanced relations between business and society. Therefore, we need guidelines that would regulate business-customer cooperation. How can this be implemented? Do you think that this aspect is feasible? Thank you very much. Please answer the question. Thank you very much for your report. I would like to answer the first question. The first question was about the efficiency and significance of the UN Global Compact as a mechanism to provide solutions to global challenges. I would like to say that the UN Global Compact is limited to business social responsibility. There are other global challenges which are not covered by the UN Global Compact. However, the UN Global Compact could be used for other areas, and it could be expanded to cover other areas. Today it encompasses corporate social responsibility, but its significance is not that high. In my dissertation, I talk about the problems that limit the efficiency of this document. They include non-inclusivity of the compact, not enough value for business, and some others. The next question was about the cooperation between businesses, customers, and local communities. If they are ready for this, I believe that this is strategically important. And here's the paradox. Business realizes that it is strategically important to cooperate with customers and local communities. These relations play an important role when it comes to corporate social responsibility. However, this is not covered by the Global Compact. Therefore, the UN Global Compact is not that important for businesses. Thank you very much for your report. Thank you very much. Are you satisfied with the answers? Yes, I'm satisfied with the answers. Now, the next is the report by Professor Rosa Nurtazina. I will read out it myself. I will focus on the most relevant parts of the report. The topic of the dissertation is relevant. The dissertation, written by Iuliia Bulgakova, the UN policy on interaction with global business structures exemplified by implementation of the goals of the Global Compact on corporate social responsibility, is topical and relevant. It is very up-to-date, and it contains a theoretical and applied analysis. The dissertation focuses on such issues as global governance. The dissertation shows the reconstruction of the United Nations when it comes to cooperation with global businesses. And the UN Global Compact is used as a case study. Now, it is also important to develop specific approaches to studying global governance and international relations. Global governance is a concept for providing solutions to global challenges. It encompasses both state and non-state actors. However, it is impossible to implement global governance within the traditional framework. Since the global governance depends on the interests of national actors. The academic degree seeker focuses on two issues: global governance in the area of corporate social responsibility and global governance as a mechanism for corporate social responsibility. The dissertation is well structured and it is also well written. The dissertation reviews the existing practices which are designed to increase the role and the efficiency of the UN Global Compact. The dissertation analyzes different documents and provides contents analysis. The academic degree seeker is familiar with Russian and foreign research papers. The research outcomes are valid and credible. So the main research outcomes are as follows. The dissertation gives a comprehensive assessment and a comprehensive description of the UN Global Compact. The dissertation provides the assessment of the efficiency of the UN Global Compact, and it also analyzes the political, economic and social potential of the UN Global Compact. The dissertation is well structured, as I have already mentioned. The dissertation has a traditional structure. We can also see the author's scientific opinion. She has made a number of presentations at international conferences and has published a number of papers. The dissertation can be used by state and non-state actors and by educational institutions as well. A few words about the critical remarks. This dissertation has some drawbacks, and I would like to talk about my recommendations. I believe you could have united the first chapter and the second chapter into one chapter, since they focus on very similar topics. The second issue, there are some stylistic and spelling inaccuracies in the dissertation. Number 3, in one of the paragraphs, you focus on the 20th anniversary of the UN Global Compact. You analyzed the reports published by different companies. I suppose the research outcomes would have been more visual if you had provided a diagram or a flowchart. In one of the paragraphs, you conduct content analysis regarding the UN Global Compact, and you use Russian newspapers as resources. The period that you cover is the 1st of January 2019 and the 31st of January 2021. And here I suppose you should have made a table or a pie chart in order to provide comparative analysis of the information. However, the dissertation complies with all the major requirements. The recommendations do not change the overall positive assessment of the dissertation, and the academic degree seeker can prove their opinion. So, the dissertation by Iuliia Bulgakova, the UN policy on interaction with global business structures exemplified by implementation of the goals of the Global Compact on Corporate Social Responsibility, is complete research which analyzes the key issues of global governance, and the dissertation by Iuliia Bulgakova complies with the major requirements set forth in order number 6821 as of the 1st of September 2016 on the procedure of granting academic degrees at St. Petersburg State University. And Iuliia Bulgakova can be awarded the academic degree of the candidate of political sciences. The scientific specialty is 554. The member of the Dissertation Council, Professor of Gumilov, Eurasian National University, Professor Rosa Nurtazina. Are you satisfied with my reading out your report? Thank you very much for reading out my report. Everything was accurate. Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to the academic degree seeker. Thank you very much for your report. I suppose there could be alternative ways of structuring the dissertation. In the first chapter, DOS deals with the global governance, and the second chapter deals with the theoretical model. It is necessary to provide more information, more detailed analysis of UN Global Compact. I agree with the other comments and critical remarks. Thank you. Professor Nurtazina, are you satisfied with the replies? Yes, I'm satisfied. Now I am going to read out my report. I'll try to be brief. The dissertation deals with the UN policy on cooperation with global business structures. The goal and objectives of the dissertation seem legitimate. The dissertation is well structured, and she has published a number of research papers, and her research findings are valid and credible. The dissertation has practical and theoretical significance. However, I have some critical remarks. There are some inaccuracies connected with the organization of the text. There are some inaccuracies which are connected with the use of, or rather overuse of, official style, sometimes it's difficult to understand the text. Some terms require explanation or definitions. Here I mean such terms as national, expert, collectivist countries, middle countries, and so on. You use the term middle powers when you talk about Germany, Japan, South Korea, and some other countries. I also have some questions about the contents of the dissertation. In one of the sections, you come to the conclusion that the UN Global Compact doesn't play an important role in the modern agenda, and it hardly becomes a topic for debate. I suppose you should have provided reasons for this status quo. You mention trade unions, non-government organizations, network communities, but you do not mention political parties and political blocs, although you mentioned them in your presentation. You also say that international organizations are not independent enough, they're just a platform for the dialogue. You say that international organizations cannot have an impact on making decisions. Yes, the statement is valid. However, I believe that international organizations are independent in regards to specific countries. Probably you should have mentioned such practices when members of international organizations come to power in their specific countries, and then they go back to continue their work in the international organizations. However, these are rather recommendations which do not change the overall positive assessment of the dissertation. Now, my conclusion is as follows. The dissertation by Iuliia complies with the major requirements set forth in order number 6821/1 as of the 1st of September 2016 on the procedure of granting academic degrees at St. Petersburg State University. Iuliia Bulgakova can be awarded the academic degree of the candidate of political sciences. This scientific specialty is 554 international relations. The dissertation is compliant with section 11 of the above-mentioned order. Thank you. I give the floor to the academic degree seeker. Thank you very much for your report. I agree with your critical remark about some formal aspects of the structure of my dissertation. I also agree with you that I sometimes overuse formal style. However, I used it not to change the meaning of these documents. Therefore, I try to use the official definitions and the official language of the documents. You also asked me to clarify some terms which are used in the dissertation. I agree with this critical remark. There are different definitions of the above-mentioned terms, and And in my dissertation, I used them in their general meaning. For example, the meaning of the term national can be interpreted in different ways, but usually it refers to the states and to the countries. You also asked me to give a definition of the internal documents. UN internal documents are those documents which are developed under the UN Global Compact. And it was important for me to talk about such documents, but probably the phrasing here is not quite accurate. You also asked me about the public perception of the UN Global Compact and about the reasons. Unfortunately, it was important to provide a list of reasons because we need further research. But the fundamental reason here is that there is no understanding of the strategic importance of the UN Global Compact. Moreover, there is not enough public awareness about the role of the UN Global Compact. I did not mention political parties in my dissertation. Political parties are not represented in the UN Global Compact. Maybe it demonstrates non-inclusiveness of the UN Global Compact. And to talk, rather, it is an interesting idea to include parties in the UN Global Compact as independent actors. Parties could act through trade unions or through parliaments. And I would like also to say that in many countries the trust in political parties is growing down. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for your question and for your remark. I would like also to say that the UN Global Compact is an interesting issue when it comes to relations between different actors. And this is an interesting topic for my future research. Thank you very much. As a chairman of the Dissertation Council and as a UN expert, I would like to say that I'm satisfied with your answers. Now I would like to ask my colleagues if they are satisfied with the answers provided by the academic degree seeker. Yes, thank you very much. We have a chance to give the floor to the attendees, but we don't have anybody here. Now about the questions that we have received via email. Have we received any questions via email? We haven't received any questions. Now I would like to give the floor to the academic research advisor. So I give the floor to the research advisor. I give the floor to Professor Vasilieva. Dear colleagues, I would like to say that I have submitted my official report, so I would like to say a few words about the academic degree seeker. So Iuliia is a very promising young scientist. I would like to say that it was my idea to ask her to write a dissertation on this topic. At first she wasn't sure about it. However, she became really interested and really involved. The dissertation was very interesting. I would like to thank Iuliia for giving such a comprehensive analysis of the topic. She focuses on different aspects of the UN Global Compact. And I hope that Iuliia will continue her research in this area. I would like to wish her good luck and thank you. I would like to urge you to vote for conferring the academic degree to Iuliia Bulgakova. Does anybody else want to make comments? Are there any questions? There are no questions. So this is the end of the discussion. I would like to ask the members of the Dissertation Council, and I would like to ask the academic degree seeker if they have any questions, any comments or any questions about the procedure of the session of the Academic Degree Council. So, Iuliia, do you have any questions? No, I don't have any questions. Now, I would like to ask the members of the Dissertation Council if they have any questions. I don't have any questions. I don't have any questions either. I don't have any questions and I don't have any objections. Everything was perfect. Now let us move on to the next topic, or rather to the next item on our agenda. Dear colleagues, do you think we need to take a technical break so that we can discuss the results? The deliberations will not be broadcast. So do you think we need such a break in order to discuss the results of our session? I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it. Thank you. I agree with my colleagues. Since we don't need a technical break, I will proceed with the agenda. I will be asking each member of the Dissertation Council in turns. It is 28 minutes past 12. Please switch on the broadcast. Let us make sure that we do not have any technical issues. Can we hear and see each other? Let us make sure. Yes, everything is okay. Dear colleagues, can you hear us and see us? We're beginning the open voting on the issue of conferring the academic degree of the candidate of Political Sciences, Academic Specialty 554, International Relations. Let me remind you that by voting, each member of the Dissertation Council agrees that item 11 is not violated. Item 11 of the order states that the academic degree seeker is supposed to make references to the sources that they are using in their dissertation, including papers published by the academic degree seeker. the decision of the Dissertation Council is positive, provided more than 50% of the Council members have voted in favor of conferring the academic degree. This is in conformity with Section 23 of the Order. So this is stated in the relevant order issued by St. Petersburg State University. So, Professor Natalia Yerumina, what's your opinion? I vote in favor of conferring the academic degree. Professor Zelenieva, what's your opinion? I vote in favor of conferring the academic degree. Professor Bakhturidze, how do you vote? I vote in favor of conferring the academic degree. Professor Nurtazina, how do you vote? I vote in favor of conferring the academic degree. I'm also in favor of conferring the academic degree. Now let us count the votes. Dear colleagues, dear members of the Dissertation Council, 5 members of the Academic Degree Council have voted in favor of conferring the academic degree. Nobody has voted against or abstained from voting. So none of you voted against and none of you abstained from voting. So we confer the academic degree of the candidate of political sciences, scientific specialty 554. I give the floor to the academic degree seeker. Dear members of the Dissertation Council, thank you for reading my dissertation. Thank you for your useful recommendations. I will take them into account in my further research. I'm not going to take too much of your time. Thank you very much. I would like to thank my academic research advisor. Thank you for your assistance. I really appreciate it. That would be all. Thank you very much. I think we can congratulate the academic degree seeker. I hope the colleagues would like to join the congratulations. We congratulate both the academic degree seeker and the research advisor. And she has a 1-year-month child, so she's a real hero. I would like to congratulate you as well. So this is the end of this session of the Dissertation Council. Thank you very much. Please switch off the broadcast. Thank you.